It's my honor and privilege this afternoon to be with Senator Charles Perry. You're coming in. You're a brand new senator here. What's it feel like? What are you looking at doing in the next few days? What's going on right now?
Well, you know, I'm a brand new senator, but I like to refer to me as a housebroke senator, which is absolutely the best position to be in. It would be really difficult, and I would have a huge learning curve if it wasn't for the fact that I've come through the House process. So I'm real fortunate that I've had the experience over in the House, and even more so the appropriations experience that I had in the House. Because really, at the end of the day, all the bills we face and all the priorities we face down here, it ultimately comes down to the budget and how much we are appropriating for specific programs and the priorities of the state. So what we're doing and what we've been doing for the last 3 months actually is working through budgets, looking at the process. We've got our budget revenue estimate today from the comptroller. Hopefully optimistic that his numbers are correct, but even so, remember that is an estimate and we'll work from that. There are other limits and provisions within the state constitution that even if that money was available, we couldn't spend it all. So we've got our challenges for sure, but the fortunate thing is the state of Texas has got the resources to get the budget right. So that's what we've been doing, is talking budget. Came from 2 meetings today, talked about budget, meeting with various agency groups and constituencies, and just the practical application of real life, moving into a place to live for 5 months down here. My wife's been down here redecorating, if you will, the office here, so that more reflects more of Lubbock District and District 28, putting those special touches in. So it's just the life, real life still goes on. I think people sometimes forget that we're citizens legislatures, and we come down here and work for 5 months, and then we go back and forth as time permits and maintain the family and the home and the community life and our work lives back there. So it's all that balance, but man, what an exciting time to be in Texas.
Absolutely. Certified public accountant. Works well with looking at the budget. Do you believe that that gives you an extra insight as to principles and certain standards and policies that need to be in place?
It absolutely gives me a leg up on how the numbers flow. It's not an easy budget. It's about 11 to 1,200 pages typically. And once you understand the flow of the dollars in the budget, and some of it's not quite as transparent as I'd like, and we work on that every session and making it a little easier to read, but absolutely gives me a leg up. Unfortunately, being a CPA during tax season and session from January to May is not the most conducive time, but it's a challenge that we've been able to meet, and I've got quality people that help me meet that.
You've been filing several bills. Is there a few in particular that you're really excited about bringing forth?
You know, I've got to break them out into types. There's some fiscal bills, i.e. savings account limit so that we don't spend below a certain floor. Zero-based budgeting, which I think is critical. That's one that we really need to see get passed, and I think it has a good shot to where the state budgets come in at zero and you move up and justify every dollar in the budget. There's a few others, population plus inflation, and there's some things on that one that would be tweaked, but probably zero-based budgeting out of that limit or out of that package of bills. Some local bills. Synthetic marijuana has just taken over Lubbock at a certain level in the Amarillo area, just statewide actually, and I think that bill's going to get moved up and quick, and hopefully very little opposition to getting passed. That's important to the district. Some little tweaks, if you will, for ag-related exemptions and stuff that we've been working on. Those will get filed and get hopefully have no resistance going through local and consent calendars. So a lot of different and diversity in the bills. The ones that you haven't seen that I'll continue to work on and probably get filed is Medicaid entitlement reform. We have, as a nation, we have 50% basically that is, quote, on the system and not contributing to the system. And we're a nation built around work ethic and work product and work opportunities, and we cannot continue that trend, and it reflects the state of Texas at some level. So hopefully some of my initiatives will get out there. We'll debate whether it gets to the final bill or statute reform. We'll see, but it's a complicated area. Medicaid reform absolutely has to happen. We will file those bills that relate to Medicaid reforms probably here in the next month. They are very complicated and very complex and encompass a lot of different stakeholder groups. But as a state, we can lead in the Medicaid and entitlement reform system that this country needs to move to, and I hope to be an integral part of that.
Oh, very good, very good. When you were campaigning for the Senate district, you had to cover a lot of different counties and saw a lot of constituents. Has all of that campaigning you did, since it's just recent now, helped you kind of get a better grasp of different things going on in the different parts of the Senate district? Because now your boundaries
Right.
larger.
It's a great question, and out of 51 counties, I've got every known diversity in the state encompassed in those 51. It may be economic, it may be school, it may be transportation for school. It's just different things, but in that 51 counties, I cover all of the issues that the whole state will feel, I think, as constituents. So absolutely moving around the district, making a 2-district tour between the beginning of the campaign and coming to session this past month has given me a perspective of what's important to their needs, their communities, and hopefully the legislation that you'll see coming through that I'm either filing or supporting will be reflective of some of those needs. And we consistently every day put something in the hopper that was requested by something in the district. Something may be unique to that particular county or district-wide, but we continue to try to focus on those things that have been brought to our attention.
Very good. Well, I am looking forward to working with you through the session and hoping that you'll help utilize the Christian Reporter News to keep your constituents informed. And looking forward to having you in San Angelo this coming Monday on Martin Luther King Day, speaking at our Pastors and Politics.
I can't wait to speak to that group, but I also want to say I appreciate the Christian Reporter to be actively engaged in politics. We as Christians have a obligation and an accountability, I believe, long term to what we do or don't do in the area of public policy.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Senator. Appreciate it.